Good morning Year 3 and welcome to day 2 of learning about volume. So today we're going to learn how to measure in litres. Here are the answers first of all to yesterday's questions. So pause the video and you can check your answers. Okay, measuring in litres. So a few weeks ago we looked at mass and we were measuring the mass of objects, and the unit of measure we looked at were kilograms and grams. So when we begin to look at measuring volume, the first unit of measurement we're going to talk about is litres. Now again, usually we would have lots of resources in the classroom, so we could have a look at the different volumes and how the capacity of different containers. Hopefully you may have a measuring jug, as I mentioned yesterday, or you might have some milk cartons in your fridge. Now this is an illustration of a 1 litre milk carton, and here is a 1 litre measuring cylinder. Now it actually says 1000 millilitres, but that is the same as 1 litre. And if we filled this up, that would give you an idea. If we filled it up to this line, that would give you an idea of what 1 litre of fluid looks like. But we have a picture here of a litre milk carton and a picture of a glass of milk. Now we can see that this glass of milk is smaller than the litre of milk. So we can say that this glass of milk contains less than 1 litre. When we write 1 litre, a bit like when we were looking at kilograms and grams, this is how we spell litre, and we can write it as 1 litre as the full word, or it can be abbreviated to 1L. Now just like when we did mass, we would never say this is 1L of milk or 1L of anything. We would say it's 1 litre, even if we see it written like this. And you might sometimes see it like this, litre with an L in brackets, to show you that that's the abbreviation that will be used. So litre is our is used to measure the volume of the liquid. So have a look around the house, see if you can find something that does have a litre measurement on it. I know that you get some bottles. This water bottle had half a litre on it, but you do get some 1 litre water bottles, some squash and things. So if you can find something that holds 1 litre, that's really useful, because then you can find some other containers that might hold less than 1 litre of liquid and some that might hold more than 1 litre of liquid. It would be good if you could maybe try it, fill a few, estimate what you think it will hold, or whether you think it will be more than or less than, and then check. And how could you check? Again, if you have a measuring cylinder or a measuring jug, that would be really handy. If you don't worry, you will still be able to do the work that we've got today, but it's good just to have a little bit of a practice and get some hands-on practical work as well if you can. Now this is a measuring cylinder, which again we would be using in school to practice. They come in all shapes and sizes, but this is generally quite a long, tall one, and it's used to measure the volume of a liquid. You can see here there is a scale, and the liquid has gone all the way up to the top line, which is marked 1 litre. I'm not sure how clear that is, but it says 1 litre, so we know that there is 1 litre of liquid in this container. Here is the measuring cylinder again with different amounts of fluid, water in there. So have a think, tell me, this cylinder contains more than or less than 1 litre of water, and the same for this one. So we can see the liquid goes up to about halfway up the scale, so we know that it's less than 1 litre. And in this cylinder, it goes past the 1 litre mark, so we know that it contains more than 1 litre of water. Now we've got some orange juice in this jug, and this jug doesn't have any markings on it. So, a bit like what I was asking you to do at home, would you estimate that the amount of orange juice is more or less than 1 litre? And how could you check? Well, of course, if we did have a jug of orange juice here, we would then be able to pour it into this measuring cylinder, and if it went above the 1 litre mark on the jug, or if we still had some left in the orange juice jug, we would know that it was more. If it didn't reach the line here, then we would know that it was less than a litre. So we have some different containers with different amounts of fluid in them, and we have the scales that go up to 6 litres on these jugs. So Bella pours some water into the 2 containers, and what is the volume of water in each container? Well, on this one, each of the lines is marked with a volume. So you just follow the liquid up and then look where it reaches on the scale. So container A has 2 litres of water. Pause the video and see if you can have a quick look over the rest of the questions and answer them, and then we'll come back and do it together. So container B contains 4 litres of water because that's where the volume of the water reaches on the scale. So therefore we can say container B contains more water than container A. Again, we've got a slightly different container, but it's got the same kind of scale. And again, we can see there is 4 litres of water in there. Here we have a bottle which doesn't have a measuring scale on it, but we know that each of these beakers can hold 1 litre. So we empty the water out of this bottle into the 1 litre containers, and it's filled 3 of them. So we know that the volume of water that was contained in this bottle is 1, 2, 3 litres. So today's task is looking at the volume of liquid in the containers. I've done one here for you to show you how I'd like you to present it. So it's written as 5 litres or 5L. And again, remember, we would say that as 5 litres. I'm just saying that to describe how we've got it. There are different scales, different sizes and different amounts in each. Some of them have got very few numbers on the scale. Some of them have got a couple to help you work out what each of the lines means. So look at that carefully before you write down the volume of water, or liquid rather. And then here we've got some different containers which have had liquid in them, and then they've been decanted into other containers which have a measurement on there. So you need to work out what volume of liquid was in these containers by counting up here. And finally, we've got some more measuring cylinders. Some of them don't have any numbers on them, but you will be able to work it out by using the clues on the others. So these 3 are in the same group, these 4 and these 2. And then there's a challenge here. I'd like you to look at the pictures. So we've got a flask, which has a volume of liquid in it. And we've got a fish tank that we know contains a different volume of liquid. And I would like you to tell me how many flasks of water we would need to completely fill the fish tank. You need to have a think about that. It's more than one step. So take your time to work it out, and we'll come back with the answers tomorrow.